race fans, and welcome once again to Bay City Speedway for groups 4 through 6 of the first round of the Dynasty of Dodge Modified Mail-In Diecast Racing Tournament, presented by Bay City Diecast Racing. My name is Daryl, and I'll be your host. 72 cars were sent in from builders around the world, vying for the opportunity to create their own dynasty. All cars have been qualified and have been grouped according to their times. Let's take a look at the rules for round 1. There will be 18 4-lap races with standard scoring of 5 points for first, 3 for second, 2 for third, 1 for fourth, and a goose egg for a DNF. Cars will rotate 1 spot clockwise after each lap. The bottom 2 cars will be eliminated and moved to the Silver Bracket Consolation Tournament. The remaining 36 cars will then move on to round 2. A big shout out to our sponsors, Redline Derby Racing and Slandman Customs. Both were kind enough to donate prize packages, which will be revealed later in the competition. And without further ado, let's meet our diecast racing tournament. Introducing first, the number 4 seed, driving for Filipiak Performance Diecast, it's Brutal. Next up, claiming the 33 seed, driving for Club 23 Le Mans, it's Avocado Mercado. Up next, driving for Dubious Dark Diecast, your 40 seed, it's Mr. Dark. And finally, the 69 seed, driving for Maria's Motors, it's Maria Mays. Let's head up top of the track and get started. Lap 1, Brutal and Avocado Mercado will take their place up front, followed by Mr. Dark and Maria Mays. And here we go. Brutal, round 1, leads the group down across the overpass. Mr. Dark is off the track and into a pole. Mercado flies by with eyes on Brutal, but the lead is too big, and Brutal takes lap 1, and Avocado Mercado grabs 3 points right behind him. We're going to have to go back and take a look at what happened to Mr. Dark there. And Maria Mays off to a rough start with a DNF in turn 3. And here's our first look at the new Trans-American. Lap 2, Avocado Mercado will be on the pole with Maria Mays right next to him. Turn 1 and Mercado goes over, Mays goes over, Mr. Dark pushing Mays and gets by. Mr. Dark is all by himself for a nice little ride to the finish to think about his life choices. Mr. Dark wins lap 2. Maria Mays with another DNF. And Brutal just ran out of momentum after getting caught up behind Avocado Mercado, who sets a new track record for distance sliding on your roof. And here's another look at the Trans-American, propped high above the Bay City Speedway to capture most of the action. Back up top, lap 3, Maria Mays on the pole. But don't worry, Mike Mays, not that kind of pole. Mr. Dark leads him off the bridge, followed by Brutal, who gets loose in turn 3. Mr. Dark pulling away, and he goes over in turn 6. Here comes Brutal, and he smashes his way through Dark. And Brutal will take lap 3 and the 5 points. Final lap 4. Brutal just grabbed the first spot in round 2. This race will determine who goes with him. Mr. Dark up front. Mr. Dark leads him around 1 and into 2. Brutal and Mercado giving chase, but it won't be enough, as Mr. Dark will hold on and win lap 4 and writes his ticket into round 2. Well, it was a rough one today for Maria Mays in the 68 Dart with that narrow wheelbase. Darts just may not be cut out for the tough angles here at Bay City Speedway. And a great showing for Avocado Mercado with Club 23 Le Mans in that stock Matchbox 2018 Charger. Congratulations to Brutal and Mr. Dark. They'll be moving on to round 2. We'll see Avocado Mercado and Maria Mays in the silver bracket. Let's introduce you to Group 5. First up is the 5 seed from Vapor Racing Treetops Raceway Park. Driving in Royal Dodge, it's Sneaky Bob. Up next is the 32nd seed from Rivera Racing. Driving in Rubber Ducky, it's Big Romy. Coming in at the 41 seed from Dirty Murray Racing, driving in Bitten, it's Dirty Murray. And finally, seated 68 from Dubious Dark Diecast, Mrs. Nefarious. There's the green, and Nefarious falls behind early. Dirty Murray goes over in 2. There goes Sneaky Bob. Big Romy will need some nitrous oxide to catch him as Sneaky Bob will take race 1, followed by Big Romy. Not really sure why I'm showing this. I mean, what am I supposed to say here? As you can see, Sneaky Bob had a super big lead and will probably win. Oh, and why isn't the pond painted anymore? Holly! Holly, call Susan and ask why the pond isn't painted anymore. Yeah, I don't have a Holly. Or a Susan. But I do have a Jen. And I'm the reason the pond isn't painted anymore. 1 turn clockwise, lap 2. We got 2 quick cars in that inside lane. Let's see what happens. Big Romy out front, Sneaky Bob looking for an opening. Looking for an opening, and Sneaky Bob blows past Big Romy out of turn 7 across Bay City Bridge and into your hearts. And he claims lap 2.
Audio Jungle.
We'll see Dirty Murray and Mrs. Nefarious get caught up with each other early, and that leaves our 2 higher seeds with room to spread their wings and open it up. And look at the veteran driver, Sneaky Bob, and how patient he is. Give him credit for taking advantage of a small mistake by Romy. Group 5, lap 3. Mrs. Nefarious and Dirty Murray on the front row looking to put some points on the board. And there they go, Dirty Murray out front, and he goes around. Sneaky Bob up on the railing. They get straightened out, and Sneaky Bob rolls completely perpendicular to the track, blocking everyone behind him. And the only one out front is Dirty Murray. Dirty Murray in Bitten claims lap 3 and the only 5 points. Final lap 4, it's anyone's race. Mrs. Nefarious will start in the back end. Let these boys have at it. Bob out front, Dirty Murray drops into second. Fishtail flips around in turn 2. Sneaky Bob out front all alone, but the race is for second. Sneaky Bob crosses the line, followed by Dirty Murray in reverse. It looks like we don't have the camera angle on this one to see exactly what happened to Big Romy here, but props to him and the Rivera Racing team for putting together this car. Rubber Ducky was in it till the end. And that'll do it as Sneaky Bob and Just Barely Dirty Murray will move on. We'll definitely see Big Romy and Mrs. Nefarious in the silver bracket. And now let's meet our drivers for Group 6. First up is your 6th seed, driving in the K&K Insurance Charger. From Vapor Racing Treetops Raceway Park, it's Dangerous Dawn. Up next is a 31 seed, driving for WHEELS Diecast. In the 69 Charger, it's Gray Wizard. The 42 seed, driving in Dragonfly. From Team Fat Hand Racing, it's Hot Rod Chris. And finally, the 67 seed, driving in Purple People Eater. For Holy Rollers Diecast Racing, it's the Breadman. Let's head up top and get right to the action. Sorry, but that was way too cool to talk over. Let's see if we can figure out what the heck happened down here. We see Dangerous Dawn out front and Hot Rod Chris pushing the Breadman up higher than he can handle. Then these three are off to the races, pun intended. Gray Wizard's gonna get under Dawn coming out of 7. Wizard goes over and Dawn gets sideways and she Tony Hawks along the side of the track until she falls and hits the dock rocks. And then here comes Miss Daisy to take the win.
Audio Jungle.
Up top, lap 2. Gray Wizard up front alongside the Breadman. Single file out of 1. They all come together in turn 2. Dawn dangerously up on the railing. 3 cars come to a stop on the overpass as Gray Wizard will streak around the track to easily take lap 2 and 5 points. Lap 3, the Breadman on the pole, but eyes are on the K&K Insurance car, who's yet to finish a race. They're all bunched up going into turn 1. Wizard goes over. Hot Rod Chris comes out in front and he rolls over and he gets pushed completely off the track. And just like that, Dangerous Dawn will capture her first win, and we folks now have a 3-way tie going into the final lap 4. Here we go. It doesn't get any better than this. 4 cars, 4 laps, 1 winner. Hot Rod Chris and Dangerous Dawn in the front row. Dangerous Dawn just takes off. She rattles around in turn 2 and Wizard goes around. All 3 contenders flying down this track. And Gray Wizard will hold on to win lap 4 and Group 6, followed closely by Dangerous Dawn and Hot Rod Chris.
Audio Jungle.
And there they are. Grey Wizard and Dangerous Dawn will move on to round 2. We'll expect great things from Hot Rod Chris and the Breadman in the silver bracket. And that'll do it for rounds 4 through 6. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Here's a look at what's to come next time as groups 7 through 9 will be up and ready to tackle this speedway head on. Only at the Dynasty of Dodge tournament, only at Bay City Diecast Racing. My name is Daryl, and I've been your host. See you next time, everybody.
That's funny.
He totally just went.
He drove straight into that pole. Did you see it?
That pole.
He didn't. He wanted to end it. Mr. Dark, lights out. That dude. I'm gonna record it just to make fun of myself. That dude went. Doo, 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 doo.
You just knocked down my tree.
No, Mr. Dark did.